know, this black feet, you can sleep in.
All over the region. Retailers are calling this their 149,000 stores offering sales in the
cash sales changing hands.
starting in New York. And we know because we hit the stores. The flu season is off to its earliest
Appears to be a previously unknown variant of the flu, suspected case catching many experts off guard.
Today I was feeling like maybe
Back on the breaking news, leading with unconfirmed reports of a smallpox outbreak.
Is a highly rehearsed scenario.
And National Guard units converging on a hospital in central
bridges are closed. It's smallpox is a very real danger.
AIDS, more than a
there's
bowl.
not enough vaccines.
Let me stop you there. This is not a panic situation.
An entire American city
Known as the green poison, Central Park has been converted to a mass burial ground.
Power outages, gas line leaks, fires. The government
We're expecting another night of widespread looting.
People of New York are begging.
What would it happen?
Any available units. Fire at house to the
Our first responders are either dead
No resources available.
or treated like animals.
It's not our job. We're not trained for this.
Come on back! I need you! Look, you're gonna be okay. Hell, at this point, you're more okay than me. Shit, that explosion took out the commander. We have a job to do. We're still gonna do it. It's just...
Landing in 1 minute. Should be able to see it coming up on my right.
We are
The Division.
What's up, everybody? My name is Patrick, and welcome to my first, I guess you could call it, a Let's Play of The Division. Now, I know it doesn't say Let's Play, that's because I'm not really intending to do a Let's Play following the actual gameplay of this game, but this is The Division, and I am going to be making maybe a couple more videos regarding this game, the gameplay aspects of it, how much fun that I'm actually having playing this game, because I haven't really given myself a break with a game in a long time. I have all of these games that I'm playing and I'm like documenting with my Let's Plays, and while that's fun to do for me, it does, as you can see, I haven't released a video in a while, and I apologize for that. It does take up a decent bit of time making a video that is actually as enjoyable to make and for you guys to watch as it is for me to play. And it does take a little bit of time, and I apologize for that. I will be working on this in the future, but I thought I would just release this video making that statement that I'm sorry I haven't released a video in a while. Don't worry, I got a lot of Jedi Academies coming up, a couple more wins, and trust me, there's always Witcher 3s. There's like always Witcher 3s. But I just thought that I would throw this video in to say, hey, I'm going to start making some Division videos, and we're going to start with this one, which is the day one release footage. This isn't, I know I'm a couple days late, but this isn't day one of The Division. The Division came out on March 8th, and while I may be 4 days late, or 5 days late to the party rather, wow, I'm a little behind, I had a couple of things that I wanted to talk about. Firstly, I'm going to say, wow, Ubisoft, good job. Optimization of this game, I heard you had some 12 o'clock release problems, but that's okay, because I played at 12 o'clock the next day, so that didn't matter. I didn't experience any of them. But for those of you who are wondering what I'm talking about, I heard the servers crash because of all the people that were trying to get in. I don't really care, but a lot of people probably do. So let's just address that real quick. Great, there was a 12 o'clock crash. What do you guys expect? It's a game, day one release, and a lot of people are trying to play it. These things happen. Secondly, I just wanted to say, man, I'm really excited to play this game. Like, really excited. Ever since the closed beta came out, I had a lot of fun with that, you know, and CB2 came out, and it was really, it was a little bit different. They even made a couple of changes from CBT1, which was really cool, but CB2, I didn't say CBT because... Oh, I actually made the mistake. It wasn't a closed beta. CBT2 wasn't even a closed beta. It was just a beta. It was the open beta for everyone. And by that time, they actually had worked on, I think only had like a week had passed, and they had already worked on optimizing a couple of the controls and everything. But what improvements they have made to this game. It runs right out of the box like butter, I have to say. My only issue with this game and games like this produced by like EA or Ubisoft is they all have these third-party launchers. You know how Steam does the whole get every game here, play all the games that you buy. Like, that's awesome. No one can do it like Steam. I'm sorry, Uplay. I'm sorry, Origin. You guys, you suck. Especially with like Origin. Come on, you offer like 4 games and you add 1 new game every 2 years. Uplay, like, all right, guys, just let Steam have that, okay? Focus on making good games, not trying to make launchers that sell games. You guys, no one can do it like Steam. But moving on, let's address the first thing that everyone on my channel when I uploaded my Division customization video was wondering about. This is the character customization, and as you saw when this video started, we had a flawless transition, a seamless transition from gameplay cinematic to the customization screen. It started out with a nice hooded guy, and I thought it was really cool. He closes the police door to check his reflection, he puts his hood down, and bam, here we go. Now, first things first, I know a lot of you are going to say, wow, the customization's not that great. Alright, first and foremost, I was not planning to go into this expecting like a Fallout 4 level of jaw customization and like sculpting parameters. Like, I wasn't expecting that. Yeah, we get like 5 haircuts to choose from and maybe like 8 facial templates. That's okay. It's really okay, because I still find that it's really easy to make a character that you're happy about playing, you're happy to play with. And let's be honest, for me, ever since the closed beta test, I pretty much saw that guy and I was like, that's the guy I'm going to play as. And even if there were no more options other than that dude and one girl, I would have been happy. But there's a lot more than I expected. I've never played a game made by Ubisoft that had this level of customization, so I wasn't really like anticipating something great, and what we got, for me, it's okay. It's fine. But again, I wasn't really expecting like some really in-depth customization system, and while I would like to see a couple more hairstyles, maybe a couple of facial tattoos, maybe an addition of a scar or 2, things seem a little limited, but that's okay. I was expecting that. I know a lot of you are going to be disappointed about that. But one of the other customization elements that I cannot stress enough is, yes, for someone who left a comment, yes, you can remove the radar. You can remove the radar, you can auto-hide the HUD, you can remove the map, any element of the HUD that you don't like or you think is too big or you just don't want there. There's a completely separate customization section just for the HUD, so be sure to check that out if you pick this game up. It is really, really worth it, and it really makes playing this game the way that you want to play way better. So let's move on. I think this guy kind of looks good. I mean, that really looks like me in real life. Maybe not as attractive, but I try and go with that haircut when I go to any barber. In the last couple of barbers I've went to, they've messed it up. I got this one great barber, and she always gets it right. I just really wish my hair could go back like that. Man, that would be so cool. But yeah, also, you notice that beard. I'm always sporting a beard. I know it might not look like that based on my picture, but trust me, I sport an epic beard. So let's just go ahead. I'm really happy with Nomad 818, so let's go ahead and activate him. Come on. Ready to do some missions in the world, Nomad? Yeah, quit looking pretty. Oh, okay. Okay. You ready? Let's do this. Okay.
Intelligence System Analytic Computer is activated. All ISAC systems are confirmed online.
Okay, so...
Take cover at the marker to begin weapon verification.
Alright, take cover and begin weapon verification. Oh, so it has us walking right now. Alright. Right now I'm starting off using a mouse and a keyboard, but I will probably end up changing.
Weapon test initialized. Open fire at the highlighted
Sorry, I just don't want to talk when he's talking. Oh, did not mean to do that.
Primary weapon test successful.
Alrighty then, success. Nice little gun to give us. I notice you only start with 2 guns too. In the beta you started at level 4 and you started with 3 guns.
Open fire at the highlighted targets.
Okay, got my pistol out. Oh, firing at some paint cans and they have paint in them.
Sidearm test successful.
Alright, sidearms. Alright, as I was saying before, I am...
Welcome aboard, Agent. This is Louis Chang, Northeast Section Commander of the Division. You have been activated because Brooklyn has become dangerously unstable. Isaac has updated us with your progress. Proceed to the nearest safe house for your full equipment loadout.
Alrighty then, let's just do what the man said. And I'm sorry, I don't really want to talk when the people in-game are talking. I will try and keep that to a minimum. But if that ends up happening a lot more, if there is just a lot of dialogue and I find myself having to talk, let's just try and focus on dialogue less than gameplay. Trust me, there will be more gameplay videos in the future. But these are actually my friends who I really have to power level to get to. But let's just head on over to this safe house here and let's get the ball rolling.
We're losing this whole neighborhood. Rioters are moving through, in force, headed this way.
Put your people there. I see someone else got the call. I'm Agent Fei Lau, Division. Activated the same time as you, part of the second wave of us going in. I don't know what happened to the first wave, but unfortunately, there's still lots left for us to do. We don't have much intel, and we don't have the luxury of failure. Not with Manhattan under lockdown and Brooklyn on the brink. People like me, and you, we're what's left to hold the line. With any luck, we'll have more to go on once we rendezvous with the commander. More about the situation, about who's turning the streets into a war zone. Anything that's gonna help us do what we're supposed to do. Now, if you'll excuse me, Lieutenant.
Officer Hazen and his team are handling situation reports. If you're looking for a hotspot, that's who you want to talk to.
Complete your activation at the terminal to enable Directive 51 operational.
Oh, I saw this guy. I was glitched inside of him. I thought that was me. I was like, I didn't make my hair white.
Agent, rioters took the weekly food supply from the Brooklyn Heights distribution center. They try and sell it back to all the starving people. Plain and simple profiteering on the backs of people who are suffering. Get that food back.
Okay, so these rioters, I don't think they have a very good plan. How are you going to sell people food when money is basically useless right now? Especially since the primary contaminant was bills used on Black Friday. Not a very smart plan, rioters. Also, you're never going to leave the island, so good job. Smart. You deserve this. Yeah, that's right. Save that guy. No, he's dead. Don't worry, I got you, man. He doesn't look like much of a threat. Ooh, buddy here. Not doing so hot.
Missing supply crate located.
Alright, guys, so I really want to touch on a couple of things here. One, my excitement to play this game. I had uploaded this video before and I made a litany of mistakes, and I've actually done a little bit more research now. Yes, I know that Tom Clancy is a deceased author, rest in peace, but he wrote a fantastic series of books, and they've made a bunch of games with his name in front of it. And I've just been wondering who he is, what he's all about, and don't worry, I'm not going to get into things of which I do not know, but I do know that I have never played a Tom Clancy game. I have never, ever, not once, played any Tom Clancy game. This is the first one I've ever played. Go ahead, leave your hate in the comments, I know, but for a first experience Tom Clancy game, I think this is a good place to start, and can I just take this moment to say that I'm using this game not only as an outlet for just some fun gameplay footage, some fun times with friends. I'm also using this game as an example of what the gunplay in an upcoming game, Ghost Recon Wildlands, is going to be like. And can I just say that the gunplay in this game, I really was skeptical about at first. I was skeptical about a lot of aspects of this game because, as we all know, it's a Ubisoft title, and not everyone has love for Ubisoft. You know, me, myself, I'm not an Assassin's Creed fan past the first two, and there's going to be a lot of people that are going to disagree with me. That's just me. That's my opinion. I think that the first two are great, and the rest were just really pumped out titles meant for making money with great climbing mechanics, a couple of great visuals, but no real thought put into the story. Whereas we get Assassin's Creed 1, a 2007 open-world action-adventure game that does a litany of amazing things, creating various milestones for game companies to look up to and try and recreate, honestly. And you think about this, you get this amazing open-world game in 2007 that people still remember today. But the reason I'm bringing it up now is because there's a lot of aspects in this game that game actually did as well, and a lot of other games will do, but a few of those are in this game, there are primary missions, there are side missions, and there are these safe houses, these places you can go where you will talk with an agent to get updated about the situation, and he will reveal vague little bits of information and a couple of little missions that you can do. Assassin's Creed did something very, very, very similar with these little safe houses where you had to travel across the terrain. You had to find one of, I think, 2, 3 major cities, and you had to find a Brotherhood agent who was in a safe house. And he would reveal information about the target that you would have to go assassinate, but he would reveal very vague things, and before you would obtain all of the knowledge you needed, he would send you out on a recon mission, thus forcing you to go explore the world, learn a little bit about your target before you went to assassinate him. He always forced you to never get in over your head. And that was a 2007 game. I'm talking about it now. I mean, it's freaking amazing. The story of the first Assassin's Creed was also very creative and awesome. The way it ended really disappointed a lot of people, but I was very happy, I was very intrigued. It led me on to a mystery that I was then happy to go into the second game trying to solve, trying to put these little pieces together. But the reason I brought it up is because that was, like I said, a game made in 2007, and we're still seeing aspects of that put into games like this. I'm just very eager to see how it's accomplished. Now, this is Brooklyn. This is the footage you're seeing now is all tutorial missions, because, as we said, we started out in the beta as level 4 on that little helicopter ride that you guys watched at the beginning part of this video. That, I'm assuming, is what this is going to take us to, and once we're done with that, we're going to end up going to the actual part of Manhattan that we get to explore. So I'm just trying to finish up these tutorial missions and get around. Another thing I wanted to say is, this game, Open World Manhattan, okay? There's a couple of things I want to say about that. There's a lot of games out there that say, like, go explore New York, go wreak havoc in New York, blah, blah, blah. Basically, what I'm trying to say is, to my knowledge, now this is to my knowledge, I haven't seen an accurate recreation of New York City since Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man 2 was obviously the game adaptation of the film, and it was released initially for the GameCube, PlayStation 2, and Xbox, and it took it a little while to come to the PC. But that was developed by Activision's Treyarch Studios, and it allowed the player to freely, and I mean freely, roam around Manhattan, the Roosevelt, Ellis, and Liberty Islands. You could get to the Statue of Liberty by web swinging, and it was fantastic. I had so much fun. If Xbox logged my hours back when I played that game, I'd probably have like 1,200 hours invested into just Spider-Man 2. I did like everything there was to do in that game. But the reason I'm bringing it up is because it was a not a one-to-one scale replica, but it was a very, very accurate replica. It was a very nook and cranny New York game, and it was open world, and it was amazing. Not to mention that there were a lot of little innovations that the game did. For example, the first Spider-Man, you could shoot a web basically into the air and swing anywhere, and it felt very stiff. It felt like you were kind of like web swinging while people were pushing 2 planks of plywood around you. And the webs never attached to anything, they just kind of shot up randomly, you could just go anywhere. It kind of played like a handheld version of the game on a console. And I'm not saying the game wasn't fun, but the first game compared to the second game, Spider-Man, was very stiff. And the second game just really blew that wide open. It was amazing. It actually, one of the bits of information that I have here is the home console versions, meaning like Xbox, GameCube, they had physics-based algorithms that simulated his web swinging in 3 dimensions. That it created a brand new game mechanic, and it was way different than the traditional like jump and fly of the previous Spider-Man games, which is that whole he could jump and he could just kind of web swing into the air. So he could like go around and you could see his webs stick to buildings. It actually stuck to buildings and swung you at the angle depending on what you hit and everything. It was just amazing. But the whole world of Spider-Man 2 was very fun to explore. It really got you out there. The freedom of being Spider-Man in Manhattan too. I mean, who wouldn't want to go explore that? Now, it kind of forced them to take it upon themselves to put more into their game, not just a web-swinging algorithm. It forced them to put more effort into side missions, side characters, side stories, and little alleyways he could go into to find like collectibles and stuff like that. It was really cool. And the reason I bring up Spider-Man 2, why are you bringing this up, you might ask? It's a really old game that didn't even come to the computer until 2008. The point is, that was we'll just say it was a 1-to-1 scale of New York City that you could go explore. It was an open world New York. That's amazing. That alone was a selling point for the game company, and it was amazing. It honestly was. Take it from someone who played it. I'm sure a lot of you guys have played it. It was just a fun-ass game. I'm bringing it up because this is also an open-world New York game. Now, how much of that New York, how much of New York City we're going to get to explore, I'm not really sure. I know that the island of Manhattan is quarantined off, but Manhattan's a huge place. I highly doubt that we're going to get to see and walk the streets of Manhattan freely and openly. But the reason I bring it up is because, as you can see around me, this is we'll just say it's a post-viral outbreak New York City. So there's all of these burning cop cars, there's all of these crashed cars, ambulances, things blown up. It's open world, but there's stuff in the way. There's a lot of shit that has happened in the months after the Black Friday viral outbreak. So there's a lot of shit just everywhere. While I'm sure that this is an open world game, I want to say that there's going to be limitations, and these limitations are going to come in the form of inaccessible areas via gates, inaccessible areas via roadblocks, or contamination zones. Now, contamination zones you will be eventually able to get into, but let's say I'm a level 4 and I wander into a contamination zone that requires me to have a higher level filter. I can get into that zone, but I'll only survive for a couple of seconds because the viral outbreak will push through my filter and ultimately kill me. Now, I'm not saying that this isn't an open world game. I'm just saying I'm a little bit apprehensive as to how open world this game is. I'm not looking for a 1-to-1 replica of New York, okay? I'm not looking to see like, hey, I was at this building, I stood outside of this window, hey, this is the Fox News studio. I understand games can't like put 100% real world elements and like labels on stuff, copyright issues and whatnot, but still, I haven't been this excited to jump into like an open world New York game since Spider-Man 2. Now you see the connection? Yeah. I mean, I'm excited, but at the same time, I'm a bit apprehensive. It's still going to be really fun. It's going to be awesome to go around and explore the world, but I want to see really how much freedom we have to go roam around. Now, wrapping it back around to my Assassin's Creed point. Assassin's Creed, a game developed by Ubisoft in 2007, had amazing, and I'm talking amazing climbing mechanics. It had, I don't want to call it parkour, but you could run at the side of a building and there was almost always a way up that building, whether you climbed a crack, whether you climbed some jutting bricks, or you had to hop from window frame to window frame. There was always a way to get from point A to point B, even if point A starts you on the ground and point B is at the top of a freaking tower. It's awesome. That game had so much about it that was just revolutionary and really hammered in the milestone that game ended up being in our minds and in the minds and history of video game development. It was really cool. And I'm saying that because this is also a game developed by Ubisoft. Okay? There is sort of a climbing mechanic in this game. It's a cover-based shooter, which means you have to get behind cover. You'll see these little highlighted indicators that say press A or press B. Like right there, the little A to the right of the wall. If I were to hold A, it would slam me up against the wall and it would force me to take cover. I was really not happy with that at first. Just the announcement of it, I was like, oh, how are they going to do a cover-based shooter that's going to sink their game? Honestly, I was expecting such bad things, and what we got was a very flawless, very simple and nice cover-based shooter. We got cover that isn't overbearing, you never feel locked into position, and if you ever want to advance in cover, it's actually done very seamlessly. All you have to do is get in cover, and you have to press and hold A while looking at another piece of cover to kind of sort of roadie run towards it. Now, if you let go of A at any point in that, it's not an automatic thing, you're not locked into that path. What it will do is, if you let go of A while trying to transition from cover to cover, your guy just stands up. It's something that you have to be attentive about. It's something that, especially in the dark zone, will screw you if you don't pay attention to. And it is very seamlessly integrated. It's nice. It's awesome. Now, touching on the climbing mechanic that the games are known for, you can see I just climbed this little truck here. Now, I can't climb the little gallery thing to my left, but it's not the best, But like I said, it's not Assassin's Creed. It's not the worst. I'm not expecting to be some parkour expert and just be able to get up the side of every building. Would it have been nice? Yeah. Since, you know, Ubisoft, you're okay with making, like, what, 15 titles of just great, fantastic climbing mechanics. But we get this, and we're just stuck with vaulting. I'm a little bit disappointed about that. I would have liked to have seen, especially me wanting to play a sniper in this game, I would have liked to have seen a little bit more freedom with the climbing. But whatever. I digress. There are things about this game that are going to make it revolutionary in its own right, and what those things are, I cannot fully or officially say, but what I can say is this. There is some exciting DLC info that I found out. Now, DLC, already been announced for this game. There, I think, is a total of 5 planned DLCs, but 3 of which have been officially announced. Now, those are Underground, which is the first expansion, is going to let a squad of 4 people explore a new kind of post-viral outbreak underground, which is going to be really cool. I'm not sure if it's just going to be a new instance type thing where it's like a mission zone and you can just party up with people, or if it's going to be a completely new area that you can go into and free roam by yourself, which would be really cool, or if it's going to be even better, like a dungeon-based zone where the further down you go, the harder people get and you can just keep going down. That would be really, really, really cool. The second of these expansions is Survival, and it's, quote, in the second expansion called Survival, players will have to try and survive in a hostile environment that will challenge even the most hardcore Division players. That seemed a little vague of an announcement, but I don't know, we'll hold out and we'll see what's what. The last of these announced DLCs is Last Stand. The third and final expansion, perhaps fittingly titled Last Stand. There is no information that I can find available about this, but these are the 3 that have been announced, and I am really, really excited to see what they could come up with. There's another thing I wanted to say. Ubisoft also went on to talk about 2 different types of content, downloadable content for The Division, that goes a little bit past what the Season Pass was touching on. The Season Pass expansions, rather. The first are other things that pre-order players get to touch on, which is like DLC packs, outfits, and weapons, and monthly perks. Now, I'm not too keen on the monthly perk things. It kind of seems like, hey, pay to win kind of things, but we'll see what's what. And another thing that's going to have is this stable of free updates. Now, I'm saying stable because that's actually what the wiki information page said. It's all of this stuff that all of us players get to look forward to. It's going to be really, really cool, and I'm really excited to play it. So basically, guys, we get 3 announced expansions, we get monthly events, and free game modes promised within the first year of the game's release. I don't know about you, but I'm pretty excited. Hey guys, not to drone on anymore, but that is the end of the video. If you would like to see more of these Division videos, please let me know in the comments below. Let me know what you'd like to see, and if there's any questions that I've left unfulfilled, let me know. But as always, guys, thank you for tuning in. If you haven't, please check out my other Division videos and my other Let's Plays linked on my channel and in the description below. And as always, I will see you guys next time. Race to the Dark Zone.